Up in this neighborhood. Sonny served in this neighborhood. Served in their army. He was what they call the best. He was an officer in their army. He was in an elite corps. He was in an elite corps. The paratroopers, he jumped out of planes. So even by their standards, you see that they're a bunch of hypocrites.
Yes, sir.
But if you can't see it just by those facts that have to do with Sonny's life, just walk down this street. Walk down Nostrand Avenue. When you walk down Nostrand Avenue, when you go a little ways, in fact, you don't have to go far. You run into a slave owner right here, Mr. Gates. You can go down a little bit further, you're going to run into Mr. Jefferson. You're going to run into Mr. Madison. I don't remember if Monroe is that way. I grew up over here, but it was a while back. You run into Mr. Monroe. Nothing but a bunch of slave owners. Now, they say Sonny was a separatist. I asked the question this week. How can you have Junior High School 104 named after Simon Baruch, the father of Bernard Baruch, when Simon Baruch was an officer in the Confederate Army? Sonny is an officer in the American Army, no street. Simon Baruch, an officer in the Confederate Army, a street. Simon Baruch secedes from the Union. They don't say he's a separatist. Sonny stays and serves his own community, and they say he's a separatist. They're nothing but a bunch of hypocrites. Nothing but a bunch of hypocrites. I'm not going to say any word that I shouldn't say. I'm just going to call them a bunch of hypocrite dogs. You know, I don't have to say the name if the name fits. I mean, I don't want to say anybody's name, but if you are a speaker of the city council, you're a hypocrite dog. I didn't say her name. If anybody out here says I said Sharon Quinn, you're a liar. Like she's a liar. You understand what I'm saying? I want to tell you something. I remember an issue Sonny was very passionate over. Most of you don't even know about this issue. You talking about the media. They can make something big and make it where you all know about it, and that's unimportant. They can take something very important and make it where you don't know about it. In Queens, there was a cop who was running around, you're not going to believe this, raping black men.
That's right.
What? 5 separate cases. This is before Volpe. This is before Volpe and Avenue Luina. 5 separate cases.
That's right.
And they said the people made the story up.
That's right.
The lawyers in the case went and got an old case of police brutality against the same cop, and he had claimed at that time that the cop had beat him. When they went and talked to the victim, do you know what he admitted? That the cop had sodomized him also. This case was called the Rockaway 5. They kept it suppressed. That's see Carol Taylor over there who led the fight. For 40 weeks. I'm going to just finish this. For 40 weeks, the black community demonstrated over at the district attorney's office. They didn't even indict the cop. When our finest black written reporter broke the silence by writing a story, a brother by the name of Earl Caldwell, who had stood up to them before when they tried to make him become a snitch against the Panthers, and he refused. He stood up again and he wrote the story. They fired him from the Daily News rather than let him write the story. Well, Sonny came down to the Daily News headquarters with soldiers. See, Sonny isn't just for some people he's just a name. I know a situation where a teacher had a problem with a principal had a problem with a teacher who did something to a student that he shouldn't do. Something very bad. And she couldn't get the Board of Education to remove him. She went to Sonny. Sonny didn't get a petition. He didn't get a picket sign. He went into that school. He talked to that teacher, and he taught him something that I learned in medical school. He taught him anatomy. He explained to him which parts of his anatomy were going to be missing by the end of that day if he didn't get out of there, and that teacher left that school. Sonny was a soldier. They don't like him, we love him. The oppressor hates him, we adore him. The oppressor wants to insult him, we want to magnify him. Welcome to Sonny Abubadika Carson Avenue.
When we walk in the light of life, we always only deal with just our elders who know certain people, but sometimes our youth also pay attention, and in doing so, our next speaker will give you an insight on her experience with Sonny Abubadika Carson and our struggle for self-determination. Miss Erica, she knows.
I thought since I'm 42 now, I graduated. I thought I graduated from being you. But I want to say that in representation of the youth, that Sonny Carson was our OG, triple OG. To the brothers and sisters on the street that try to represent like they gangster, Sonny Abubadika Carson was the official OG of young people in our community. And y'all need to stand up like men and stand up like women and represent for our OG. Now the other thing is that today is the 36th birthday of Tupac Shakur. So Sonny Carson in 1994 brought Tupac to the Gates Avenue gym over here to work around organizing young brothers and sisters around the code to the streets. And Sonny Carson was committed to working with young brothers and sisters in ending street violence and empowering young people in our community. And if one thing that young people could understand, that Sonny Carson never allowed anyone to tell him who he represents and who he is as a man in our community. And young people have to transform their ignorance of non-thinking and non-commitment to their people to a commitment from their heart to their future, their lives, and their people. Because we are sick and tired of a community of our children disrespecting our heritage, disrespecting our future, disrespecting our parents. And it is only with the real men and women in our community, like Sonny Abubadika Carson, like Viola Plummer, that we can transform the children and the future of our community. So under no circumstances can we allow anyone outside of our community to dictate to us who we are committed to. We are committed to the real OGs, the real soldiers, the real revolutionaries, the real heroes in our community, Sonny Abubadika Carson and Viola Plummer.
Erica Ford. One of the things that Sonny did, Sonny founded with us the Black Men's Movement Against Crack. And for those who know, in 1985 and 1986, when crack was running through the streets, some black men stood up, went into the crack houses. Abubadika wasn't in an armchair somewhere. He wasn't on the telephone somewhere. He was in the streets every day with us, closing crack houses, organizing black men to stand up and fight for self-determination. One of the brothers who participated with that with us, because everybody has to be everywhere, and we were in every school in Bed-Stuy, and one of the brothers who opened those schools for us, not from the inside, but marched in with us, was Brother Michael Hooper.
Sonny Abubadika Carson lives. Sonny Abubadika Carson lives in all of us. Now, we were talking before about an action plan. Remember this, there are a few things we have to understand. That AB also was involved in education all the time. He started off with the School of Common Sense. Now, you heard about education of Sonny Carson.